Gentlemen, if you're over 60, what I'm about to tell you may completely flip your idea of healthy hydration on its head. We've all been given certain rules to live by. Drink plenty of fluids, eat your vegetables, and get some exercise. But what if one of the most common pieces of advice to drink a certain popular beverage was actually working against you? What if the very thing you thought was quenching your thirst and cleansing your system was in fact a silent poison for your prostate? I want you to think about a drink that's in nearly every refrigerator in America. It's something you might grab after a bit of yard work or sip on during a hot afternoon, believing you're doing your body a favor. You feel hydrated. You might even see the words electrolytes or vitamins on the label, and it feels like a healthy choice. But for men our age, this everyday habit could be quietly fueling a problem that steals your sleep, your confidence, and your vitality, drop by drop. This goes far beyond just making a few extra trips to the bathroom. We're talking about the profound impact this has on your entire life. It's about those sleepless nights where you're up for the fourth time, staring at the bathroom floor, feeling exhausted and frustrated. It's about that slow drain on your energy the next day, leaving you feeling foggy and irritable. It's about the loss of confidence that comes from constantly scanning a room for the nearest exit, or turning down invitations because you're worried you won't make it through a movie or a dinner without an embarrassing interruption. My name is Dr. Julian Reed. I am a men's wellness expert, and for over 25 years, I've sat across from thousands of men just like you. My life's work has been helping them understand what's happening to their bodies, and more importantly, how to reclaim their prostate health and get their lives back. I've seen the relief and the renewed energy that comes when we finally identify the hidden culprit. And far too often, that culprit is the very beverage that's marketed as pure, refreshing, and essential. It's time we expose the truth. Let's start with a simple question. How many times did you get up last night to use the bathroom? Was it once, twice, or have you honestly lost count? When I ask this question in my clinic, I usually get a tired sigh followed by a number that would shock most people. 3 or 4 times, they'll say. Or, "Doc, I'm up so often I feel like I'm on a nightly shift." And then, almost without fail, they shrug their shoulders and say the words I've come to dread. I guess it's just part of getting older. Gentlemen, I am here to tell you, with all the conviction I have after 25 years in this field, that this is not just age. This is not a life sentence you simply have to accept. What you are experiencing is the result of a small gland, about the size of a walnut, slowly beginning to take control of your life. It's your prostate. And when it decides to enlarge, it doesn't ask for permission, it just starts quietly calling the shots. The impact of this goes far beyond the physical symptom of needing to urinate. It begins to dictate your entire day. You start planning every car trip around where the rest stops are. You find yourself strategically choosing the aisle seat at a theater or a church event, just in case you need to make a quick escape. You might even start declining invitations to go out with friends or family because the anxiety of not knowing where the bathroom is, or of having to interrupt constantly, is just too much. Perhaps the hardest part is the strain it can put on intimacy with your partner. It's difficult to feel confident and present when you're constantly distracted by a nagging urgency. This isn't just a medical issue the doctors call BPH, or benign prostatic hyperplasia. That's just a clinical term. What it really is a thief. It's a silent thief that steals your freedom, your dignity, and your peace of mind, often without you even realizing how much you've lost until it's nearly gone. But the good news is, you can fight back. So what is this common drink that's causing so much hidden trouble? When I sit down with a patient and tell them the one drink they need to avoid to protect their prostate, the reaction is almost always the same. Their eyes widen in disbelief. They lean forward, expecting me to say something like soda or alcohol. And while those aren't health foods, they're not the main villain in this story. The drink I'm talking about is something many men have been told for years is a healthy choice. In fact, many have been told to drink gallons of the stuff. Let's cut to the chase. The number one drink I want you to seriously reconsider is sports drinks and so-called enhanced waters. I'm talking about the brightly colored bottles of drinks like Gatorade, Powerade, vitamin water, and any other beverage that promises to replenish your electrolytes or give you a boost of vitamins. This is what I call the hydration trap. It's a trap because it's designed to make you feel like you're doing something incredibly good for your body. You see the words electrolytes and think you're professionally hydrating like an athlete. You see vitamins and think you're giving your immune system a kick. The marketing is brilliant. It makes you feel smart and healthy for choosing it. But for men over 60, this is a dangerous deception. Your body processes things differently now, and what might be useful for a 25-year-old athlete during an intense workout is often completely wrong for a 60-plus-year-old man going about his daily routine. I remember a patient named Mark, a 68-year-old retired teacher. Mark was active. He went for a brisk 30-minute walk every single day. And after each walk, with the best of intentions, he would drink a large bottle of a popular electrolyte water. He believed he was replenishing what he'd lost and taking care of his health. But he came to me confused and frustrated. Despite his healthy habit, his prostate symptoms were getting worse. He was up more at night, and the urgency was becoming overwhelming. He said, "Doc, I'm doing everything right. I don't understand it." When I explained the truth about his post-walk drink, it was like a light bulb went off. He was stunned that his healthy habit was likely the very thing working against him. But how? How can something that seems so healthy be so damaging? It all comes down to a double-edged sword. Two major betrayals hidden within that seemingly innocent bottle. The first betrayal is the sugar and artificial sweetener storm. Let's talk about sugar first. Many of these sports drinks are absolutely loaded with it. We're talking heaping spoonfuls of sugar in a single serving. Even the low sugar or zero sugar versions are problematic because they're packed with artificial sweeteners like aspartame, sucralose, or acesulfame potassium. Here's what happens in your body. When you flood your system with sugar, your body has to release a hormone called insulin to process it. This causes a spike in blood sugar, followed by a crash. This roller coaster doesn't just affect your energy levels, it creates something called systemic inflammation. Think of inflammation like a small, smoldering fire throughout your entire body. For your prostate, which is already sensitive and prone to swelling as we age, this inflammatory fire is like pouring gasoline on it. It directly irritates the gland, encouraging it to grow larger and more inflamed, which then squeezes your urethra tighter and makes all your symptoms worse. Now for the artificial sweeteners. Your brain tastes something sweet and expects calories to come with it. When they don't, because the sweetener is artificial, it confuses your body's metabolic processes. Studies are increasingly showing that these fake sugars can alter your gut bacteria and are linked to worsening urinary tract symptoms. So whether it's real sugar or fake sugar, your prostate loses. The second betrayal is the electrolyte mismatch. Electrolytes like sodium and potassium are essential minerals. But the key word is essential, not excessive. The problem with these drinks is that they contain a massive concentrated dose of electrolytes designed for a young athlete who is sweating profusely for hours. Most men over 60 are not running marathons. We're taking a walk, mowing the lawn, or playing a round of golf. The amount of electrolytes we lose through moderate sweat is minimal and is easily replaced by a normal healthy diet full of fruits and vegetables. When you chug a high electrolyte drink, you're overwhelming your system. You're taking in a huge amount of sodium and potassium that your body simply doesn't need and doesn't know what to do with. This disrupts your body's delicate mineral balance. To cope with the excess sodium, your body holds on to water. This water retention increases your overall blood volume and puts direct pressure on your bladder and your already sensitive prostate. It's like turning up the water pressure in a hose that's already kinked. The result? You feel more urgency, you have to go more frequently, and you never feel like you've fully emptied your bladder. So here's the simple analogy I use with my patients. Pouring a sports drink into your body after 60 is like throwing gasoline on the fire of prostate inflammation. You think you're cooling yourself down and replenishing your body, but in reality, you're only making the internal fire burn hotter and brighter, causing more swelling, more pressure, and more sleepless nights. You're trying to put out the flame, but you're using the wrong tool and making everything worse. We've talked about the physical symptoms, the frequent trips, the weak stream, the sleepless nights, but to truly understand why this is so important, we need to talk about what those symptoms steal from you. This isn't just a medical condition, it's an emotional prison. It's about living your life on a leash, constantly tethered to the fear of where the next bathroom is. I want you to picture a man I'll call Tom. Tom is 72 years old, and his greatest joy is watching his grandson play baseball. One afternoon, his grandson is up to bat, the game is tied, and the bases are loaded. It's a moment every grandfather dreams of. But as the pitcher winds up, Tom feels that all too familiar pressure. He tries to ignore it, to hold on just for one more pitch. But the urgency is overwhelming. He quickly gets up and makes a dash for the restroom. As he's standing there, he hears a massive roar from the crowd. By the time he gets back, he sees his grandson rounding the bases. He missed it. He missed the winning home run because his bladder, controlled by his enlarged prostate, wouldn't give him 5 more minutes. The disappointment on his face wasn't just about missing a game, it was about missing a memory he can never get back. Then there's the strain on the closest relationship in your life. Think about a couple I saw, married for 45 years. They used to love nothing more than jumping in the car on a Saturday morning and just driving, discovering little towns and stopping at roadside diners. It was their thing. But now, those trips are filled with tension. He's constantly anxious, scanning the horizon for the next gas station. She tries to be supportive, but she misses the carefree companionship. The unspoken frustration hangs in the air. They've started staying home more, their world slowly getting smaller and smaller, all because of this uninvited passenger on their journeys. And perhaps the hardest thing to talk about, the thing men whisper to me in the office when their wives step out, is the feeling of embarrassment and the quiet loss of masculinity. There's a deep-seated pride in being strong, reliable, and in control. When you can't sit through a meeting, a movie, or a dinner without constantly excusing yourself, that pride erodes. You start to feel less like the man you are. It's humiliating. It chips away at your confidence, not just in social situations, but in every aspect of your life. You feel like a prisoner in your own body, and the sentence is life without parole. Gentlemen, this is about so much more than a weak stream. It's about a weakened spirit. It's the quiet humiliation of having your life dictated by a function most people never have to think about twice. The good news is, the prison door isn't locked. You have the key. Now, after all that, I have fantastic news. The solution isn't complicated, expensive, or out of reach. You don't need a cabinet full of supplements or a radical diet that's impossible to maintain. The path to taking back control is about making simple, powerful swaps. It's about trading the things that hurt you for the things that heal you. It starts by ditching those toxic sports drinks and replacing them with what I call the trinity of hydration. First and most important, pure, clean water. This is the foundation of everything. I'm not talking about fancy, expensive water. I mean good old-fashioned H2O. When you are well hydrated with pure water, you help your kidneys flush out toxins and inflammatory compounds naturally. It reduces the overall inflammatory load on your entire body, which directly calms prostate irritation. It's the simplest, most effective thing you can do. Think of it as gently rinsing away the irritants, instead of pouring more on with sugary drinks. Second, green tea. If water is the workhorse, green tea is the superstar. It's packed with powerful antioxidants, one in particular called EGCG. Think of antioxidants as little firefighters that go through your body putting out those inflammatory flames we talked about. Studies have shown that these compounds specifically support prostate health and can help reduce inflammation. You don't need to drink gallons of it. Just a cup or two a day, unsweetened, can make a real difference. It's a calming ritual that actively fights for your health with every sip. Third, pomegranate juice 100%, unsweetened. Now this one is a powerful ally, but you have to read the label carefully. You want the real stuff, 100% juice with no added sugar or sweeteners. Pomegranate is famous for its benefits for blood flow and heart health, but that same principle applies to the prostate. Good circulation is vital for reducing inflammation and supporting overall gland health. It's like giving the area a fresh, clean supply of oxygen and nutrients to help it heal. A small glass a day is all you need. And while we're fixing what you drink, let's add one simple daily habit. A 20-minute brisk walk. That's it. You don't need to run a marathon or lift heavy weights. Consistent, moderate movement is a miracle worker. It naturally reduces inflammation throughout your body, helps balance your hormones, and manages your weight, all of which take enormous pressure off your prostate. Plus, it's a fantastic way to clear your head and reduce the stress that can make symptoms feel worse. This isn't a complicated prescription. It's a simple trade. Trade the sports drink for water. Trade an afternoon soda for a cup of green tea. Trade feeling trapped for taking a short, empowering walk. These small changes are your first steps off the leash and back into a life of freedom, confidence, and control. You've spent enough time as a prisoner. It's time to let yourself out. I know that right now, this might feel like a lot to take in. You might be thinking, is it even possible to undo years of this? Or can I really get back to the way I used to feel? Gentlemen, I am here to tell you, with absolute certainty, that it is never, ever too late. Your body has an incredible capacity to heal when you simply stop doing the things that are harming it and start doing the things that help it. To show you what I mean, I want to bring back Mark, our retired teacher. Remember Mark? He was the fit, active man who drank electrolyte water after his walks, convinced it was healthy, while his symptoms mysteriously got worse. When he left my office that day, he was skeptical but determined. He cleared out his fridge of all those brightly colored bottles. He switched to water with a slice of lemon and started enjoying a cup of green tea in the afternoon. He kept up his walks, but now he ended them with a tall glass of pure cold water. He came back to see me just 3 months later. The change wasn't just physical, it was in his eyes. They had a light that wasn't there before. He told me that within a few weeks he noticed he was sleeping longer stretches. The frantic, painful urgency that used to send him running to the bathroom had softened into a manageable, normal feeling. For the first time in years, he had recently slept through the entire night. Not once, but several times. He felt well rested, clearer-headed, and more patient. But the best story he told me was about a spontaneous decision he and his wife made. they decided to take a drive up the coast for a weekend getaway, something they had stopped doing because the planning around rest stops was too stressful. This time, they just went. He said, "Doc, I didn't plan the route. I didn't even think about it. We just got in the car and drove. I felt like I had my freedom back." That's what this is all about. It's not just about fewer bathroom trips. It's about reclaiming the joy and spontaneity that makes life worth living. Your body is waiting for you to make this change. It wants to heal. It's been fighting a battle against the inflammation and irritation you've been unknowingly feeding it. When you finally stop adding fuel to the fire and instead give your body the pure, simple hydration it truly needs, the response can be both dramatic and rapid. You are not doomed to a life of frustration, embarrassment, and sleepless nights. This is a problem with a straightforward solution, and the power to implement it is in your hands, starting today. Which brings me to my final point, the most important thing I will say to you today. This is more than just advice. It's a plea from a doctor who has seen too many men suffer needlessly. As I look into this camera, I want you to imagine I'm sitting right across from you in my office. I'm leaning forward, speaking to you not just as a doctor, but as a man who cares deeply about your well-being, your freedom, and your happiness. I am begging you, please, go to your refrigerator right now, today. After this video, open that door and look inside. I want you to find every single sports drink, every bottle of vitamin water, every electrolyte-enhanced beverage, and I want you to take them out, every last one, and I want you to pour them down the drain. I know it might feel wasteful. I know you might have bought them with the best intentions, but I need you to see them for what they truly are. Bottles of inflammation, frustration, and stolen sleep. They are the keys to the prison you've been living in. Getting rid of them isn't a loss. It's your first, most powerful act of liberation. This is the single most effective and immediate step you can take to start healing your prostate. You don't have to wait for a prescription to be filled. You don't have to schedule a procedure. You can start your journey back to health the moment you decide to make that simple swap. Don't put it off. Don't tell yourself you'll finish the last few bottles. Don't let another night go by where you're up at 2 a.m., staring at the bathroom wall, feeling frustrated and alone. You have the power to change that tonight. You have the information. You have a simple, clear path forward. So I am pleading with you. Do this one thing for yourself. Do it for your wife, your partner, your family who misses your full, engaged presence. Do it for the man you are and the life you deserve to live. Dump the drinks. Choose water. Choose green tea. Choose your freedom. Your future self will thank you for it.